Alright, so this is the base to the vintage dressmaker sewing machine, class 15 sewing machine that I got at the Goodwill for $4. All the joints were coming apart, and the bottom of the drawer was coming apart from everything. Pretty much the only thing that was still attached was this back piece to everything. So I had to pull the joints apart, and I used Titebond 2. It's a really good strong wood glue, and I just put it in all of the contact points. And I don't have fancy woodworking equipment, so I just used some black electrical tape to kind of tape it all up, and use that as my vise a little bit, and use what you got, use what works. Seems to be working. It's holding all the pieces together and like pulling them all in so they can dry. I'm pretty happy with it. This piece right here it goes in right here. This is the part that the plug underneath the machine was screwed into, and it was actually broken in half right here, all along that line there. And the only thing holding it together was the paper on this side, so I pulled off the outer layer of paper, which kind of looked like that. It was kind of a metallic paper, and then just put some glue in there, some Titebond 2, and put some electrical tape on it just to hold it overnight, and tomorrow I can take the tape off and should be fine, and then I can glue it into place right there. Now, I was going to just sand this down and like clear coat it, and just have a plain wood base on there, but I noticed after I pulled the outer layer of paper off, which was this stuff here, it was kind of a gray metallic, and that black back is the stuff that's still kind of stuck on here and there in the glue. But once I pulled that off, I realized that the end piece here and this end piece here are not the same kind of wood as the front and the back. It's like a really cheap, thin, lightweight wood. Maybe, I'm not sure what kind it is, but it doesn't match the rest. And the bottom is kind of like a primitive particle board. You can see that primitive particle board, kind of compressed sawdust board or something, and the edges are starting to crumble. So I think what needs to happen is I just need to recover the entire thing with paper again. A nice thin layer of glue and a nice good layer of paper, some kind of thick paper that is pretty good shape. Then I think after that dries, I'll probably put some polyurethane on it to protect the paper, but we'll get to that road later. Right now I'm just trying to make sure that it's not falling apart, so but the electrical tape seems to be holding it pretty well. I don't have any gaps or anything, so I think it should be good overnight. It's already starting to dry. That Titebond 2 dries pretty quick. I want to give it a good overnight to dry thoroughly. Then I can pull this off. I'm not sure if I'm going to use, I'm not sure what kind of glue I'm going to use. Probably some heavy duty Elmer's glue as a base for the paper. But tomorrow I'm going to go to the store and I don't know, we'll see what kind of paper choices I have. I don't know, might be fun to be kind of funky, a funky pattern, or, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's where I'm at so far. Okay, so I've decided to go ahead and cover this old box, the bottom of the sewing machine, with paper, because the ends are not the same wood as the front and the back, and the bottom is this kind of really thin primitive particle board that's kind of like crushed or compressed sawdust, and it really does need to be sealed off. So I don't think polyurethane alone could do it. So I think I'm going to put the layer of glue and then paper and then polyurethane, and that should be good. So what I got is this roll of scrapbook paper from the paper shop, and it was 40% off at Hobby Lobby. So, and I think this will look really cool with this. Won't that be cool? But that just needs a good sparkly area. And then the tacky glue, Aleene's tacky glue. This is just a real good heavy-bodied glue that is just really good for working with papers and different things. It doesn't make your paper wrinkle up like a lot of glues do. I like it working with it. So, and then I got some of these to cover the inside of the box. So I think that'll be cool. It'll go pretty well. I couldn't have matched that better if I had taken the sewing machine into the store with me. That's pretty close. So that's going to go on the inside of the box. This is going to go on the outside, and I'm just going to recover the whole thing. So I put the glue on there, and I want to make it a nice, smooth surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smear it with a card. Old empty gift card. Okay, get that smeared on. I've got this piece cut to put on it, but I need both hands, so get this put on. Alright, so moving right along here. I am almost done with the bottom. I'm going to put another sheet on the bottom, I think, to kind of hopefully cover that if I have enough left. I've got the front covered and wrapped. I don't know if you can see that, but it's wrapped all the way in. And then I have the back side glued, and I just kind of glue the top down, cut around all this hardware, and try to glue it down. Then I have to do the ends still, and then I can cover the inside with the blue paper. So getting there slowly but surely. Using this board to put glue on, and then I just pick it up with that, and then I've been smearing it on just like that, and making a super thin coating so that the paper doesn't get all wrinkly and gross. So hopefully I can get done with this glitter part, this glittery paper. It looks glittery, it's very glittery looking, but it doesn't have like loose glitter. Like it's sealed in somehow. Like I'm not even sure how, but it's very glittery, but there's no like glitter to fall off on your hands or your projects or anything. I mean, it's like built into the paper somehow. But once I get that all covered, then I can spray seal it. But that is a little ways down the road yet. I got a little bit more to go. Alright, so I'm coming to the ends, which are going to be a little bit more tricky to cover because of this hardware on here. Now this hardware doesn't have screws. It is like permanently attached through the wood. So I have to work around them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at this end. I'm going to put the glue up to the hardware, stick the paper on, press it down, and then slowly cut around the hardware, gluing a little section and cutting a little bit more, gluing a little section, cut a little bit more until I get to this other side where I can glue the rest of it and then cut that side of the hardware. That's what I'm planning on doing. We'll see what happens. Seems to be working pretty good. I just glued it down and am cutting around it as I go while I push it down. And then this side has already got glue on it, so I'm going to keep going around and cutting as I go, trying to follow the edge of that hardware. That's stuck down good. Well, it's slowly but surely getting there. I've just got this one little section right here to finish covering, and then I'm going to put a new layer on the bottom. And then I think I'm done with this project, and I can put the Duchess back on her throne. Okay, so I just wanted to show you what this looks like now that I've got her back on her throne. I call her the Duchess. She's got a little crown. Anyway, so this is the finished box, completely covered with paper and sealed up, and then the inside has that colored paper, and it just all looks really nice and pretty now, and just looks really nice sitting there, but it's also nice and durable and usable, and this does not have glitter pieces again, because so you're not going to mess up any of your project sewing. So it's a really good way to really kind of fancy up the old cases that come with these old machines. And it looks nice, it's durable, it works well, it seals off wood and any unsightly things. It's a good way to hide the fact that, all the wood pieces were different. So, if you tried to put a stain on it or something, it would look different. But you could totally go that route. But I just wanted to kind of make it real pretty, because this kind of really goes with this, and it just kind of looks nice. So, yep, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. See you later.